How's it going, everyone? Blueknight here, and welcome back to another Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time video. So earlier today, various gaming sites and content creators started releasing footage from a press demo for the game, featuring not one, not two, but 3 different levels, including Snow Way Out, okay, that's a clever name, Dino Dash, and Cortex's Timeline of Snow Way Out. Now keep in mind, whatever you see in this footage is not the final build of the game, as things can still be changed between now and the launch of the game. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start talking about it. First of all, everything about these levels and everything about the game so far looks great. It just looks really good. Quite possibly the best looking Crash game there is. Now I can't comment on how the game actually feels to play because I ain't played it because I was not sent a demo, unfortunately. So I can only really comment on what I'm seeing and of course analyze whatever I'm seeing. I mean, come on, it's not a Blueknight video if I don't do an analysis of some kind, am I right? So Snow Way Out. When we start the level, we can see a red exclamation point crate. I did bring this up in my previous video, but I never knew what it actually did. Well, we do now. Whenever we hit one of these, they activate a set of transparent crates. But these transparent crates activated by the red exclamation point crates, they only remain solid for a few seconds before becoming transparent again. So you may have like a few seconds to traverse the respected area or smash the crates, but I'm going to take it that most of the time you're going to have to rely on Kapunawa to, of course, deal with these types of crates. As for the level layout, we can see that there's the traditional 3D linear sections like, well, typical Crash games. And then of course you got the traditional 2D side-scroller segments, also like traditional Crash games. But this time around, there are more open areas for you to explore and find hidden crates and gems. More precisely, this area with the floating ice blocks, wherein you can find hidden crates inside this waterfall, or you can go over here to find extra crates and a gem, which by the way appear a lot smaller in this game. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but I'm not complaining. Yeah, that's about all I really have to say for the standalone Snow Way Out level. So let's move on to the Cortex's Timeline of Snow Way Out. Now, what do I mean by Cortex's Timeline? Well, this is Cortex playing through the level while Crash is progressing through his part of the level. And then when we reach the end of Cortex's level, we then switch back to Crash after we see how Cortex basically failed to trap Crash. In this instance, he sneezed and accidentally triggered it too early. Poor Cortex. And basically how these Cortex levels work, they basically act like secret paths that you would have for, like, say, Future Frenzy in Crash Free Warped, wherein this secret path starts out as a different part of the main level, and then this secret path connects back to the main level later on. Cortex's levels basically act the same way, except you're playing as Cortex and not Crash or Coco, and then you switch back to them at the respective point in the level. And I'm going to take it that every single time we see an exclamation and question mark above Crash's head, every time something happens, that is where Cortex's levels end, and then we switch back to Crash or Coco. Just a rough guess on my part, but that's probably what'll happen. But Cortex's levels are more puzzle-like, because as we knew before, if you blast an enemy one time, they'll turn into a solid block. If you blast them twice, they turn into a gelatinous platform that allows you to jump higher and reach additional platforms, which should make for some challenging platforming, and from what I've been hearing, these levels are hard. So if you like puzzle platforming, there you go. Let's go ahead and move on to Dino Dash. It's the last level we got for this discussion. I gotta say, this is probably the best dinosaur-themed level in the series. I mean, just look at this. It's really good to look at. And it's also got dinosaurs, what more could I ask for? But aside from all the dinosaurs and the lava and everything else, we got a look at Lanny Loli's ability, aka the phasing mask. Basically what he can do is allow Crash to phase in objects in and out of Crash's world, like say certain crates, certain obstacles. This is going to be really interesting to try to 100% with this mechanic. Oh, and we also got to see Aku Aku in action for the first time in this game. And instead of him following Crash around like he usually does, he now just spins around Crash constantly, like how he would in CTR, which I guess is a fine change. I don't know why he would be doing that. I mean, heck, even in Cortex's level, we have Aku Aku circling around Cortex. hey Aku Aku, which side are you on? Now, I'm sure this is going to be changed later on to have Uka Uka instead of Aku Aku, because otherwise this wouldn't make sense. And one last thing before I end the video, guys. In the footage provided by Game Informer, we can see a glimpse at the game's loading screen. Of course, I don't think this is going to be the final loading screen in the final game, but it might be close. Instead of having just a black screen with Aku Aku floating around and you get tips and such from the Insane Trilogy, well, that's no longer present. Instead, we have a picture of the level with the dimensional shards going across the screen, alongside the Skylanders Imaginators loading icon, which was still present in Spyro Reignited. I don't know, I just find that pretty funny. And yeah, I don't really have much else to really say regarding this new footage. I mean, it looks great. It really does. I can't wait to get my hands on it. But until then, what do you guys think of this new footage? Does this make you even more excited for the game? Be sure to let me know down in the comment section below, and also be sure to stay tuned to the channel for when more Crash Bandicoot 4 news or updates drops. And once again, thank you all so much for watching and the support. I've been Blueknight, and I'll see you guys back here next time.